Hey everybody, it's Eric Murray from the sugarhuddle.com. Today I'm going to do a video pertaining to a story that I had on the sugarhuddle.com a little bit earlier. It's Training Camp Blues Week 2. Last week I did Training Camp Blues talking about, of course, some key injuries, a few key injuries and how they could affect teams, some longer term injuries. And so I'm going to do that again this week. And so, first of all, A.J. McCarron, big news last night. The Bills quarterback trying to vie for the starting quarterback position reportedly broke his collarbone. It's pretty certain that he did. And so obviously that'll force him to miss a substantial amount of time. And by the time he actually does come back, it'll be kind of a moot point because either the Bills are going to be a contender probably and somebody will be playing decent at quarterback, whoever it is, or they'll be really bad and they'll be out of playoff contention, which a lot of people think it might be the latter with all their issues going on with their offensive line woes coming into the season. And obviously Shady McCoy still hasn't been completely resolved yet. And the defense still has, defense is decent, but it still has its problems too. But anyways, it's definitely big news. Rookie Josh Allen, even though I'm still very skeptical of him going forward, so far he's looked pretty good in training camp in the 2 preseason games, including against the Browns last night. Nathan Peterman's actually looked pretty good, much improved this year too. But still, A.J. McCarron, you bring him in and you think that, it gives you kind of an excuse to start him possibly as your starting quarterback for the first few weeks ahead of Josh Allen, who really does need to pretty much sit his entire rookie year. He's that raw. And so now it really limits your options because it's either Allen or Peterman, and assuming that this kind of opens the door for Allen to basically be the week 1 starter, if he struggles quite a bit out of the gate, all of a sudden you don't have McCarron to go to. All of a sudden it's just Peterman. If Peterman kind of reverts to last year's regular season form as a rookie, when he obviously his first career start, he had the 4 interceptions in the first half against the Chargers, and that was a nightmare. Didn't do much in the other times that he played as well. So it really limits your options, and now Buffalo's going to have to go out and sign a veteran quarterback to kind of come in and be a backup and try to mentor these young guys. I heard maybe Derek Anderson will be in the mix, maybe T.J. Yates, a few other names thrown out there. But A.J. McCarron has some potential and some upside, and he could have, who knows, maybe if he started, maybe he would have had a really good year and surprised everybody. Obviously he's on a cheap contract, so it's a low risk either way for the Bills. But now that kind of ends that. So I figure he'll be out a substantial amount of time, a good chunk of the season. And so, yeah, the Bills, if they want to get back to the playoffs now, it seems like it's kind of Josh Allen or bust. That's a lot to put on a rookie, regardless of the expectations that are already on him. And so now it's especially where it seems like it's almost a done deal that he is going to start from week 1. And for McCarron, it certainly sucks for him because if he came out and found a way to kind of lock down the starting job for a little while, who knows, maybe Buffalo would have traded him and he would have gotten a chance to legitimately start somewhere else next year and then, cashed in a couple years from now on a big contract. You never know. I mean, things, stranger things have happened. But so nonetheless, that's what happened there. And then the Patriots, they drafted a pair of Georgia guys in the first round, guard tackle Isaiah Wynn, and then, of course, running back Sony Michel. And Wynn just the other day, went down. I believe he tore his left Achilles was the official injury. He was, most of training camp, he was the backup left tackle of Trent Brown. But because he's a little bit undersized, a lot of people thought maybe he would be more of a guard or like a right tackle, a.k.a. bookend in the NFL. And he was actually getting first-team reps earlier this week at right tackle ahead of veteran Marcus Cannon. And so now you lose him, and the Patriots didn't have real great depth on the offensive line coming into the season. And now it's even worse because that's a guy who could have potentially won a starting job from day 1 or, week 1 of the regular season, or could have started sooner or later. And then, of course, with injuries in this league and already a shortage of offensive linemen in this league, that would have really helped the Patriots quite a bit. So now that's one less guy that they can go to. Trent Brown, one of the reasons San Francisco traded him is he's mediocre at best. He's not really the long-term answer to replace Nate Solder, who they lost to the Giants in the offseason at left tackle. And right tackle, Marcus Cannon's a pretty mediocre veteran, and that's why Isaiah Wynn had a legit shot to possibly win that job. Their guard spots, interior line isn't really that much better either, but tackle especially, now they have all these guys who've just are guys who've been in the league for a few years and nothing special. Ulrich John and Adrian Waddle has been in the league 6 or 7 years, so they really don't have much now. And as well as Brady played, and as well as the Patriots played in the preseason game the other night against the Eagles. Again, it's just a preseason game. We know Brady's still going to play well, but the thing is, he is 41. He can't afford to keep taking all these hits, and there have been times off and on the last few years where the Patriots' offense line can be pretty hit or miss in pass protection. Patriots haven't necessarily always committed as much to the running game, and so that's occasionally led to some issues as well. So, yeah, this is a big setback because that's a guy, again, could have been starting possibly week one. And his versatility, he could have even kicked inside and started at guard, which might be his better NFL position anyways. So now you're really killed on depth, and then there's your first rounder goes down the drain, won't even play his rookie year at all. So that's a really big setback for him, really big setback for the Patriots. But then, of course, that's not the first guy. Obviously, Michel, a few weeks ago, he gets injured in training camp, and it was considered a minor knee injury. He got his knee drained. It's like an arthroscopic type surgery. I guess it was a meniscus-related injury. So it sounds like it's not the worst thing in the world. And they said, well, he'd be out the entire preseason, should be ready by week one. Okay. Well, now it's kind of sounding like, from what I read, that they're worried that he might not even be ready for week one. Maybe he'll miss a game or two or something like that. So he's going to be back sooner than later. But, it does worry you. He's getting injured in training camp his rookie year because you wonder, could he re-injure it, re-aggravate it during the regular season? The Patriots, it seems like they are trying to move towards committing more to running the ball this year to take pressure off Brady, try to balance this offense out. Obviously there's a little bit of a running back revolution starting to go on in the NFL, and Michel's a guy that has that versatility that he could be a pretty big-time running back for them. They have a lot of journeyman veterans, Rex Burkhead, James White, they're at the top of the depth chart. Mike Gillislee, I heard he might not even make the team. Brandon Bolton's another guy who's like a borderline roster kind of guy. So if he gets off to a slow start when he does come back, whether it's week one or week two or whatever, and then he gets hurt again, that's really going to be a setback for the Patriots. They're trying to get back to a third straight Super Bowl. Remember, in the past, when they've lost a Super Bowl, they haven't gotten back to the Super Bowl the very next year. 2007 and 2011, the first two times they lost, both to the Giants in those cases. 2007, they lose to the Giants, and then they didn't get back to the Super Bowl again until 2011. Lost to the Giants again, didn't get back till 2014. Brady's 41 now. He's not going to play forever. And with some of these offensive line woes, this could really shorten his career. He always talks about playing till 45, and a lot of people are like, yeah, we can't buy it. And then he talks about maybe he will retire at the end of the year. This maybe does force him to retire at the end of the year, because who knows how this offensive line is going to be. So a lot of concerns there. So the offensive line, Sony Michel, so those could be setbacks for Patriots. We'll see, but those could be tough. And the last thing, just kind of an update on Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, looked pretty decent in the preseason game last week against the Seahawks. Supposedly, I guess he has a six-pack. He's in tremendous shape. He's feeling real good. I guess his attitude's real good, and he always has a good attitude anyways, but it seems like he's especially feeling pretty confident. The Westgate, the hotel in Vegas that has the biggest sports book in the world, they actually just upped the Colts' odds for the season from over under 6.5 wins to now over under 7.5. I'm going to be doing an AFC South preview in a couple weeks. I'll probably stick by my original prediction, which is a very low win total. You'll see that eventually, but we'll see. He's still got to hold up, but if his arm is supposedly stronger than it was before and everything else, that's a good thing. But they still have to get better on that offensive line. So we'll see. But anyways, that's another thing to keep an eye on. And they play Baltimore on Monday night, and that's going to be a tough challenge. Baltimore's going to definitely go full go in that game. So we'll see how it goes. But those are just some things about some more training camp type injuries and how they could affect teams. And we'll see how it plays out in the coming weeks. But I'll have more videos by the end of the weekend. Remember, again, go to thesugarhuddle.com and just check out all my stories and keep watching the videos and subscribe and everything else. But anyways, yeah, that's all I got, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.